makes a single car worth more than $50 million? Is it the speed, the beauty, or something far deeper? Today, we uncover the story of a Ferrari so rare, so legendary, that it became the most expensive Ferrari ever sold, the 250 GTO. Wait a second. Don't be too quick to call this just another 250 GTO, because this is the 1962 Ferrari 330 LM/250 GTO by Scaglietti, a car that holds a truly unique place in Maranello's history. From the outside, it may look like its siblings, but beneath that Scaglietti bodywork lies something entirely different. Let's dive deeper and uncover what makes it so extraordinary. By the dawn of the 1960s, Ferrari stood at a crossroads. The 250 GT short wheelbase Berlinetta had carried Maranello to glory, but its upright nose and aerodynamics were reaching their limits. At the same time, motorsport's governing body reshaped the rules, shifting the World Championship of sports cars toward GT production-based categories. Ferrari needed a machine that could outclass not only its rivals, but also its own legacy. Engineer Giotto Bizzarini, working in secrecy, was tasked with creating this weapon. Using a 250 GT chassis as his foundation, he sculpted a body in the wind tunnel at Pisa, chasing every advantage of speed and stability. Early test sessions at Monza in 1961 produced blistering lap times, but the prototype's crude bodywork earned it a nickname, whispered with awe and derision alike: Il Mostro, the monster. When Bizzarini left Ferrari in a Palace coupe, the body's final refinement fell to Sergio Scaglietti, who gave the GTO its now timeless curves. The GTO's form was dictated by function, yet rendered with an artistry that defied its utilitarian purpose. The body sat on a 2,400mm wheelbase, derived from the 250 GT SWB, but reinforced with lighter tubing and increased rigidity. It was long and low, with subtle flares sculpted into its fenders, and details that evolved through its short production run between 1962 and 1964. The earliest cars featured small elliptical grilles and bolted-on rear spoilers, later refined into more integrated aerodynamic solutions. Cooling ducts shifted shape from rectangular to circular, lights moved and recessed, and additional vents were cut to tame the ferocity of competition heat. By 1964, some cars had been rebodied with profiles reminiscent of the 250 LM, showcasing Ferrari's restless pursuit of perfection. Charisma, however, did not lie only in the details. The GTO radiated intent, a car that could devour road and circuit alike. It was the last of its kind, perhaps the final dual-purpose Ferrari road racer ever built. Beneath the alloy skin lay the beating heart of Ferrari's Colombo-designed V12. In standard 3-liter GTO form, this was a dry-sump, competition-specification engine, fed by 6 twin-choke Weber carburetors, producing 300 horsepower. Power traveled through a new 5-speed gearbox with its iconic open-gate shifter, down a prop shaft to the rigid rear axle with Watts linkage. The entire package was lighter, stiffer, and lower than its predecessor, giving the GTO its legendary balance of speed and control. But even within this rare breed, one example would rise above all others. Chassis number 3765. Among the 36 Ferrari 250 GTOs built, 3,765 stands utterly alone. It was the only factory GTO equipped from the outset with a 4-liter Colombo engine. Entered by Scuderia Ferrari itself, it made its debut at the Nürburgring 1,000 kilometers in May 1962, where Mike Parks and Willie Mares drove it to a class win and second overall. The experiment had paid off immediately. The larger engine unleashed formidable speed. With its sights set on Le Mans, Ferrari upgraded the car further, fitting a 6-carburetor unit producing nearly 390 horsepower. The car stormed into qualifying, securing a fourth-place start. But racing is never without heartbreak. During the opening laps, Parks locked the brakes and slid into a sandbank. Hours later, overheating ended its run. From triumph to tragedy, 3765 embodied the high-stakes theater of endurance racing. After its brief but storied factory career, the car was converted back to 3-liter GTO specification and sold into private hands. In Sicily, under Ferdinando Lettieri, it found new life on twisting mountain roads and hill climb stages. In 1965 alone, it claimed multiple wins and secured runner-up in the Sicilian Hill Climb Championship. Later, it crossed the Atlantic, becoming a centerpiece of Ferrari gatherings in America. Over the decades, 3,765 passed through the stewardship of devoted collectors. Each preserved its story, from concours victories to anniversary tours. In 2011, it stood proudly at Pebble Beach, among 23 other GTOs, finishing second. Proof that even among legends, this car held a special place. Beyond chassis 3765, the 250 GTO as a whole carved out an unmatched competitive record. Between 1962 and 1964, it claimed victories at the Tour de France, Goodwood's Tourist Trophy, and repeated GT triumphs at Le Mans, the Targa Florio, and the Nürburgring. Its only true challenger by 1964 was the Shelby Cobra, whose brute force V8s matched Ferrari's finesse with raw power. Yet what cements the GTO's place in history is not only its racing resume, but its duality. It was a car that could win on Sunday and be driven home on Monday. To drive it on the open road was to feel the pulse of Maranello's racing department coursing through every gear shift. And there you have it. As we've seen, no marque captures the imagination of collectors quite like Ferrari. And at the very top of that prancing pyramid sits the legendary 250 GTO. It may not have had the longest racing career, but with a class win at the Nürburgring 1,000 kilometers in 1962 and the distinction of being one of only 2 raced by Scuderia Ferrari itself, this car is far more than just a machine. Chassis 3765, the only 4-liter Works GTO, stands in a category of 1. Since then, it has become a crown jewel of the classic car world, racking up awards and admiration at concours events for decades. And when it sold for $51.7 million in the fall of 2023, no one was surprised. If anything, it might just be a preview of what's to come in the next few years. Today, the Ferrari 250 GTO isn't just a car, it's the car. A flash of brilliance frozen in time, a legend forged in speed, style, and soul. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more stories from the world of automotive icons. Until next time, stay fast and stay curious.